Hi again, this is the second half of the video. This time you can see that we're actually starting with a percent in the question and our final answer needs to be in the form of a fraction. So the question is, you are missing 5% of the homework assignments. We're going to start by making this as a ratio compared to 100. So as we remember from the first video, the definition of a fraction is the definition of a percent is a ratio with the denominator of 100. So I could write 5% is 5 to 100, the ratio. That sets me up for the rest of the question. Part 2 says, write this as a fraction in simplest form. Well, I already have a fraction, 5/100ths. I just need to simplify this. You could use the cake method, you could use whatever method you feel comfortable with, but 5/100 should reduce to 1 to 20. So my final answer is 1/20th. I'm missing 1/20th of the homework assignments. Moving on. Here's another question. You made 80% of the free throws you shot. Write this as a ratio compared to 100. Please pause the video and try that. Alright, hopefully you've paused and tried, and you should have gotten 80/100. 80/100 is 80%, 80/100. The fraction bar is like saying the word per. 80%, 80%. Part 2, write this as a fraction in simplest terms. Please pause the video and just try that real quick. Alright, 80/100 simplifies to 4/5. So the answer is 4/5. I made 4/5 of the free throws that I shot. Alright, now we're skipping that step. Before I gave you 2 lines to do. Now I'm telling you that you just can go straight to the answer. You ate 35% of the ice cream. Write this as a fraction in simplest form. Please pause the video and try that. Okay, so again, I'm going to start by doing 35/100, 35%. If I reduce 35/100 to simplest form, I get 7/20. I ate 7/20ths of the ice cream. Alright, so we have these 4%. Please pause the video and try to convert all 4 of these to fractions. You can pause now. Alright, hopefully you have tried all of these already. So 5% starts as 5/100. That reduces to 1/20th. So that's the answer for the first one, 1/20th. The second one, 75%. 75/100. That reduces to 3/4. Third one, 0.5%. Alright, so now it's getting tricky. It's a smaller percent. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. I like starting with 0.5/100 because that's the definition of a percent. And now I say to myself, well, all of the work just went away. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can get it back here. There we go. Alright, so back to what I was saying. It's 0.5, and I like to say to get the 0.5 to be a whole number, basically what I have to do is I have to move this decimal spot over 1. So if I move this decimal spot over 1 at the top, I also have to move the decimal spot over 1 at the bottom. So 0.5/100 becomes 5/1000. That one was tricky. I wouldn't feel bad about it if you couldn't get that one on your first shot, because that was hard. Alright, and now the last one, 120%. I'm going to again start with 120/100. 120/100 reduces down to 6/5. And now I want my final answer as a mixed number, so 1 1/5. We're going to do a little bit more practice on the next slide with these last two types of problems. I'm going to give you more of these because these are tricky. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. And here is the next set of problems. These are kind of difficult, so let's do it one at a time. So why don't you pause the video now and only work on A. Okay, so hopefully you've gotten a chance to try A. My scratch work for A is I'm going to start by using the definition of a percent, 0.06 over 100, because for every 0.06 I have 100. So 0.06 out of 100. Now I want to get this into a whole number on the top, so I need to move the decimal over 2 to the right. If I move it over 2 to the right at the top, I need to move it over 2 to the right on the bottom. So I end up with 6 over 4 zeros, 6 over 10,000. That's my answer. 6 over 10,000. All right, so this one is 6 over 10,000. Please pause the video and try B now. All right, so for B, hopefully you started by writing 200 over 100. And that just simplifies to 2. So there's your answer for B. Go ahead and pause the video and try C. For C, there's a couple of different ways you can approach it. We could use the method that we tried before, and we could rewrite it as hold on one second, I'm writing off the screen. We could rewrite it as 0.3 repeating over 100. Now we would use the same logic that we've been using before. Move the decimal point over 1, means this needs to be over 1 too. And that gives us the answer of 3.3 repeating over 1,000. And that's kind of the best you can do with that method. The other method you could think of is you could rewrite 1/3% as 1/3 divided by 100, or 1/3 divided by 100, like that. We know how to divide fractions. So 1/3 divided by 100 is the same thing as 1/3 divided by 1 over 100, because we're doing, or excuse me, not divided by, times, because we want to do leave it, change it, flip it. So that ends up with 1 over 300. Go ahead and pause the video and try D now. Okay, so for this one, you should have gotten 540 over 100. 540 over 100 reduces down to 27/5. And 27/5 as a mixed number is 5 2/5. We're going to be working a lot more in class on these really small fractions because those are the most difficult. So hopefully you've kind of gotten a sense of them, but we're definitely going to be talking about them more in class. And that is all for this video lesson. Thank you for watching.